If I had $5,000 to spend on a watch today, these are the pieces I'd be looking at. In this video, I'm counting down 10 of the most value-packed watches under $5,000. We'll be looking at watches like the Omega Seamaster Diver 300 meters, the Tudor Pelagus Ultra, the Zenith Chronomaster El Primero, and more. Some offer exceptional movements, some deliver incredible finishing, and a few provide the kind of value that's becoming increasingly difficult to find in today's watch market. So let's get started with number 10, the Longines Spirit Zulu Time. Starting off this list is the Longines Spirit Zulu Time, one of the best GMT watches you can get for the money right now. It comes in a 39mm stainless steel case, a versatile size that fits most wrists, paired with a bi-directional ceramic bezel and a clean, highly legible dial available in multiple color options. Inside is the Longines caliber L844.4, an automatic GMT movement with a strong 72-hour power reserve and COSC chronometer certification. But what really makes this watch stand out isn't just the specs. It's the fact that Longines delivers a true traveler's GMT at a price where most brands are still offering simpler office GMT movements. So when you're on the move, you can independently adjust the local hour hand without stopping the watch, making it genuinely practical for travel. You also get 100 meters of water resistance, sapphire crystal, solid finishing, and an overall quality that feels above its price range. What I like most is that it doesn't feel like a compromise. It has its own identity, a strong design language, and a heritage rooted in Longines' early dual time zone watches. That's what makes it such a strong value pick. Coming in at number 9 is the Tudor Black Bay Chrono. This watch combines two categories that don't always work well together: dive watches and chronographs. It features a 41mm stainless steel case, Tudor's signature snowflake hands, and is available in both Panda and reverse Panda dial configurations. Powering the watch is the COSC certified MT5813 automatic chronograph movement, offering a 70-hour power reserve along with a column wheel and vertical clutch system. What makes the Black Bay Chrono such a strong value proposition is that Tudor didn't sacrifice capability for style. You still get 200 meters of water resistance, excellent build quality, and one of the strongest chronograph movements in this price range. At around $5,000, it delivers the versatility of a sports watch, the functionality of a chronograph, and the reliability Tudor has become known for. The case has a combination of brushed and polished surfaces, the bracelet feels solid on the wrist, and the overall construction gives the watch a level of quality that immediately stands out. Over the years, Tudor has continued refining this Black Bay Chrono with improved bracelet options and more dial variations, making an already strong watch even better. For many enthusiasts, this is one of the strongest alternatives to significantly more expensive Swiss chronographs. And when you look at everything the watch offers, it's easy to understand why it has become one of Tudor's most popular models. Coming in at number 8 is the TAG Heuer Carrera chronograph Skipper. The Skipper is one of the most distinctive watches in the Carrera lineup. Originally inspired by sailing chronograph from the 1960s, the modern version brings that heritage into a much more refined package. The watch features a 39mm stainless steel case and a blue dial accented with colorful subdials that immediately set it apart from more traditional chronographs. Inside is the TH20-06 automatic chronograph movement, offering an impressive 80-hour power reserve and a column wheel architecture. What I like about the Skipper is that it doesn't look like every other sports chronograph on the market. While many brands play it safe, TAG Heuer created something that feels different without losing practicality or legibility. Typically priced around $4,500 to $4,800, the Skipper offers strong value for anyone looking for a modern chronograph with genuine history and a personality of its own. Coming in at number 7 is the Rolex Explorer 36. Few watches demonstrate the idea of less is more better than the Explorer. There's no chronograph, no GMT function, and no rotating bezel. What Rolex created instead is a watch that focuses on the fundamentals and executes them exceptionally well. The watch features a 36mm oyster steel case and is powered by Rolex's caliber 3230, an automatic movement with a 70-hour power reserve and the reliability Rolex is known for. What makes the Explorer such a strong value proposition is its simplicity. The design has remained remarkably consistent for decades because it works. The dial is clean, highly legible, and instantly recognizable, thanks to the signature 3, 6, and 9 numerals. The case, bracelet, and movement are all built to an exceptionally high standard, giving the watch a level of quality that owners can appreciate every single day. And while many sports watches chase trends, the Explorer continues to focus on timeless design and everyday practicality. That's exactly why it remains one of the most respected watches in Rolex's lineup. Coming in at number 6 is the Grand Seiko SBGM 221. If there's one watch on this list that quietly over-delivers, it's this one. At first glance, the SBGM 221 looks like a simple dress watch. It features a 39.5mm stainless steel case, a cream-colored dial, elegant Dauphine hands, and a rich brown leather strap. But look a little closer, and you'll notice something many dress watches don't have, a GMT complication. Powering the watch is Grand Seiko's automatic caliber 9S66, which allows you to track a second time zone while still maintaining the accuracy and reliability the brand is known for. What makes the SBGM 22 one such a compelling value proposition is the level of finishing. Grand Seiko has built its reputation on details, and this watch showcases that perfectly. The hands and indices are razor sharp, the polishing is exceptional, and the dial has a level of refinement that's difficult to appreciate until you see it in person. Unlike many GMT watches that lean toward a sporty design, the SBGM 221 takes a more elegant approach. That makes it incredibly versatile. It works as a travel watch, a dress watch, and an everyday watch without feeling out of place in any of those roles, and that's what makes it stand out. You're getting a beautifully finished mechanical GMT from one of the most respected watchmakers in the world, all while staying comfortably within this price category. Coming in at number 5 is the IWC Portugueser Hand Wound 8 Days. This is one of those watches that shows IWC at its most traditional, focusing on clean design and mechanical depth rather than complexity for its own sake. The watch features a 43mm stainless steel case, long polished lugs, and a dial layout that is almost completely open, giving it a very balanced and symmetrical look. Inside is the in-house IWC caliber 59215, a hand-wound movement that delivers an impressive 8-day power reserve. That means you only need to wind it once a week, which is quite unusual even in this price range. What makes the Portugueser stand out is how it combines simplicity with technical depth. There are no unnecessary complications. Just a power reserve indicator and a small second subdial, both integrated into a very clean layout. The finishing is what you would expect from IWC at this level, with sharp printing, well-executed proportions, and a dial that feels almost architectural in its design. It's not trying to be a sports watch or a tool watch. Instead, it focuses entirely on elegance, mechanical presence, and long power reserve engineering. And that's exactly why it earns its place on this list. Coming in at number 4 is the Omega Seamaster Diver 300 meters. This is one of Omega's most recognizable modern sports watches, and it continues to be a strong contender in the luxury dive watch category. The watch comes in a 42mm stainless steel case with a ceramic bezel and the signature wave pattern dial, which has become a defining design feature of the Seamaster line. Inside is Omega's coaxial master chronometer movement, offering excellent accuracy, anti-magnetic resistance up to 15,000 Gauss, and a power reserve of around 55 hours. What makes the Seamaster 300 meters stand out is the balance between tool watch capability and refined finishing. It offers 300 meters of water resistance, a helium escape valve, and a solid bracelet system designed for durability and comfort. At the same time, the ceramic dial, polished details, and overall finishing give it a more premium feel than a typical dive watch. Over the years, Omega has refined this model without changing its identity, making it one of the most consistent luxury sports watches available today. It works equally well as a daily wearer, a travel watch, or a more rugged sports piece, and that versatility is exactly why it continues to dominate this category. Coming in at number 3 is the Grand Seiko SBGA 497 Pink Snowflake. This is one of those watches where the dial alone does most of the talking. The textured pink dial changes tone depending on the lighting, shifting between soft pastel shades and deeper rose tones, giving it a very dynamic presence on the wrist. The watch comes in a 41mm titanium case, which keeps it lightweight and comfortable despite its size. Inside is Grand Seiko's spring drive, caliber 9 R65, combining mechanical energy with electronic regulation for near-perfect smoothness in the seconds hand sweep. It also offers a 72-hour power reserve and exceptional accuracy compared to traditional mechanical movements. What makes this watch stand out is the finishing. Grand Seiko's attention to polishing, brushing, and dial texture is on full display here. Everything feels deliberate and highly refined. Unlike many sports watches in this price segment, the SBGA 497 leans more toward elegance and craftsmanship rather than aggressive styling. It still has everyday practicality with water resistance and durability, but the focus is clearly on design and finishing. It's not trying to compete with mainstream sports watches. It exists in its own category, and that's exactly why it deserves this position on the list. Coming in at number 2 is the Zenith Chronomaster El Primero. This is one of the most historically important chronographs ever made, and even today, it still feels relevant. The watch typically comes in a 38 to 42mm stainless steel case depending on the variant, with a highly detailed dial layout that showcases multiple subdials for the chronograph and small seconds functions. Inside is the legendary El Primero automatic movement, operating at a high beat frequency of 36,000 vibrations per hour. This allows the chronograph to measure time down to 1/10 of a second, something very few mechanical watches can do accurately. What makes the Chronomaster stand out is not just the technical achievement, but the execution. Despite the complexity of the movement, the dial remains readable and balanced. The finishing is sharp, the case proportions are wearable, and the overall design has been refined over decades rather than constantly reinvented. Zenith has managed to keep the El Primero relevant by evolving it without losing its identity. In a market full of chronographs, this one still feels special, and that's why it holds such a strong position on this list. Coming in at number 1 is the Tudor Pelagos Ultra. This is not just another dive watch. It's Tudor pushing its engineering to a higher level. The watch features a titanium case designed for extreme durability while keeping weight low on the wrist. Despite its lightweight feel, it maintains a serious tool watch presence with professional grade specifications. It offers high water resistance, a helium escape valve, and a fully loomed dial designed for maximum legibility in low light conditions. Inside is Tudor's in-house automatic movement, built for accuracy, robustness, and long-term reliability, with a strong power reserve and COSC certification. What makes the Pelagos Ultra stand out is how far Tudor has pushed the Pelagos concept. Compared to earlier Pelagos models, this version feels more refined, more capable, and more purpose-built for serious use. The titanium construction, improved finishing, and enhanced bracelet system all contribute to a watch that feels engineered rather than just designed. It doesn't rely on heritage or marketing stories. It focuses purely on performance, materials, and execution. And in a list built around value, capability, and real-world quality, that is exactly what earns it the number 1 spot. Those are my picks for the 10 most value-packed watches I can buy for under $5,000. But now I want to hear from you. Which watch would be your number 1 pick from this list? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more watch content, and I'll see you in the next one.